Welcome to the deep dive. We dig into source material to pull out the key insights, the surprising facts, and really the practical stuff to get you informed fast. Today, we're diving into an intro class session, MIS 375. We've got this professor sharing just tons of fascinating real-world examples and some pretty spot-on advice for, navigating this digital world we're all in.
Yeah, it's actually amazing how much is packed into just one class entry. You've got career advice, AI implications, all of it looked at through the eyes of a modern teacher. It's really a rich source for getting a handle on current challenges and opportunities, too.
Oh, absolutely. And you're going to hear stories that honestly feel like little thrillers. There are warnings about, what you see online and a really eye-opening perspective on how AI is changing, everything, even research in universities. So yeah, let's unpack this. The professor talks about their own social media, Instagram and X, formerly Twitter, admits being an Instagram addict, gets fire videos sent all the time, but on X, strictly technology. No politics, no controversy. Has 22,000 followers, real ones, including like 2,000 CIOs.
And here's a twist on the usual advice. The professor heard from recruiters. Get this. If a student's social media has nothing fun, like just a little bit of crazy, they actually worry. They think, what's wrong with this person? They don't have a life. So maybe that old toga picture isn't so bad after all. It suggests, authenticity matters. Recruiters want to see a real person, not just a perfect resume. A bit of personality is actually a plus.
That's such a good point. Shows the human side they're looking for. Which brings us to the practical side in the classroom. The professor is going to use AI heavily in this MIS 375 class, specifically Microsoft Copilot. It's going to be the primary tool for the reasoning part.
That's a big statement.
Yeah, their thinking is, look, if an assignment can be done easily by a computer just spitting out an answer, maybe it's not worth doing in the first place. Compares it to using calculators for basic math. The tool helps you do higher level stuff.
And the efficiency gains sound incredible. They said using Copilot for research, it's cut the time needed by 80% compared to just 2019. That's huge. But, and this is key, they stressed, using the university's private Copilot, the one with the green shield icon, not the public one.
Okay, why? Why is that specific distinction so critical? What's the actual danger of just using the regular public one?
Well, it's about privacy and academic integrity, really.
Yeah.
The private version, the university one, it curates the sources, looks for more scholarly, factual stuff, and crucially, if it's inside of our Copilot, it stays inside. It's private to the university system.
Okay.
If you use the public one, it will keep your query and your potential answer, and it may use it to generate to another stream, meaning your unique idea or phrasing could get absorbed and then fed to someone else asking a similar question later, which could look like plagiarism, even if accidental.
Wow. Okay, that is a really important difference. So many people might not realize that. So what's the killer feature then of this private Copilot for students doing research?
Probably the best part is how it gives you the reference sources with it. You ask a question like, what AI features is Oracle adding to its ERP? Copilot gives you maybe 5 key points, and it lists the sources, Oracle's own site, analyst blogs, whatever, right there.
Makes citing things way easier.
Exactly. Research becomes, as the professor put it, a snap. The new problem isn't finding information, it's culling it. Sifting through everything Copilot gives you to find the best bits.
Okay, so the class uses these cutting-edge tools, and it's clearly geared towards preparing students for specific career paths. About half go into professional services like Accenture, maybe 30% into traditional IT, Southwest Airlines was an example, and 20% into tech companies like Microsoft or Dell, often as sales engineers.
And what seems really unique is the focus on pure strategy skills. The professor actually teaches MBA strategy the same way a top firm like McKinsey does. That gives these undergrads a big advantage, they argue. They cover business basics, innovation, both the disruptive kind and regular improvements, MIS architecture, business models.
It sounds comprehensive.
Yeah, the argument is that only MIS grads really get the whole picture. Know the technology, they know the business, and they know the whole layout and structure of the enterprise. That holistic view is the key differentiator.
And the case studies sound fascinating too, really diverse. You mentioned Lego, Disney parks, and their AI use.
Right, also Spark Education, this Chinese company that's apparently outpacing Khan Academy. Roasting Plant Coffee, taking on Starbucks. Glossier, Trinity Health.
Southwest Airlines and its IT issues. CrowdStrike too, the security company.
Yeah, CrowdStrike loaded with AI, but it took down half the U.S. when it had that major failure recently. So really relevant, sometimes cautionary tales.
So lots of reading. Any advice from the professor on how to tackle it all?
Yeah, pretty practical stuff, actually. It said to scroll through the PDF first, look for subtitles, diagrams, eye candy, things that grab your interest. Don't just fixate on the page count. Look at the true content. They know students often just scan long cases, so they try to keep them around 10, 12 pages, not these epic 60 pages you sometimes see. Smart reading, basically.
Makes sense. Okay, finally, some tips for actually succeeding in the class. Sounds like participation is key. About 40% of the exam grade comes from the readings, but 60%, that's from the lecture classroom conversation.
And they're pretty direct about laptops.
Oh yeah, multitasking on your laptop, you'll miss about 32% of the content. Ouch. Don't miss the 10 main framework lectures and their associated cases, because everything builds on those foundations.
You know, looking back at everything we've covered from just this one class intro, it really shows this stark contrast. On one side, you have AI getting incredibly sophisticated, amazing tools for getting things done, for creativity, even changing research. But on the other side, it creates these huge challenges for knowing what's real, who to trust online.
So for you listening, what's the bottom line here? Well, I think it means you've got to develop a really critical eye for anything digital. You need to learn these new AI tools, for productivity, but you also have to be super strategic about building your own digital identity, both professional and personal. That line between real and generated, it's not just blurring, it feels like it's almost gone sometimes. And how well we navigate that, that's going to be key for success moving forward.
And it leaves us with a pretty big question, doesn't it? As AI gets harder and harder to distinguish from reality, how do we as a society even agree on what truth means in the public sphere anymore? And what's your role individually going to be in upholding that? Definitely something to keep thinking about.